Hi everyone and welcome to Booty Day. So today we're gonna create some burn in our butts and we'll start in our tabletop position with some gentle cat-cow. So with the next inhale, drop your belly, lifting your chin, arching your spine. And with the exhale, chin to your chest and round. Just doing a few of these to warm up the spine, moving with your breath. Now try to find a neutral spine, so neither arching nor rounding, extending the right leg behind. And then we're gonna tap the toes and lift the leg up, trying to keep your spine long and straight, hugging your belly button in and tapping and lifting the right toes. Nice and controlled movement, trying to keep your hips squared, so try to not open through the right hip but keeping it on the same level as the left. And let's keep the leg lifted, little pulses. So pulsing your leg up while still keeping your spine long, hips squared. Last 5 seconds. And then keep your leg lifted and slide it from right to left, as if we're sliding on a slippery surface, moving your leg from right to left. Trying your best to keep your upper body really stable here. Maybe creating even more length in your leg, straightening all the way down into your toes. 10 more seconds here. Now coming back to center, bending the right leg and straightening. We bend and straighten. Try to integrate your ankle here, so flex and point. We flex when we bend, we point when we extend. Hips are still squared. Draw your belly button to your spine and try to squeeze the right heel to your butt cheek. Keep your knee bent now and pulse your heel up towards the ceiling. So we're gonna pulse it up, really activating that right glute muscle as if you want to push something away with your heel. Feel your glutes working for the last 5 seconds. And lowering your knee down, we're going to flip the fingers to point towards the knees to give our wrists a little stretch. So start to lean forward and back here. Stretching into the wrists, the forearms, all the way into the fingers. And then coming back into a neutral position, and we'll do the other side. So extend the left leg long behind us and then tap and lift the left leg. Again, trying to keep your hips squared so we're not opening through the left hip. We're keeping the core engaged here, so no excessive arching in the spine. And the left leg is super long, all the way down into the toes. Last 10 seconds here. And then we keep the leg lifted for our little pulses. So pulsing the leg up towards the ceiling. Still keeping everything really stable and controlled. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, keeping it lifted and sliding the leg out to the side and back to the right. So move moving it from side to side. Again, imagine that surface that you're sliding on, and you keep the leg parallel to the floor, so keeping it lifted. And again, we want to think of slow, controlled movement, keeping the body really stable and engaged. And we come back to center and we start to bend and straighten the leg. So bend your knee, drawing the heel to your butt cheek and extending, integrating the ankle. So we point and we flex, making that left butt cheek work now. Feel the burn and try to keep the leg really, really engaged, flexing and pointing. 5 more seconds. And now we keep the knee bent and we pulse the heel up towards the ceiling, as if you want to stamp something upwards. So keep pulsing the heel up. You should really feel the left glute now working. That is so good. We want to create some fire here. And we have our last 10 seconds. Stay with it. And slowly lowering the left knee down. Sit your hips onto your heels, just shaking out the wrists for a moment. And then we're making our way onto our spine. So come to lay all the way down onto your back. And then we're going to bring the feet into a parallel position, touching your heels with your fingertips. Reach your hands up towards the ceiling and then start to lift the hips and lower them down for our glute bridge. Lifting and lowering, really hugging the ribs in, squeezing the glutes. And the weight is in our heels here, so try to press your heels down while you lift and lower the hips. Try to keep a steady breath. You can inhale when you lower and exhale when you lift. Keeping the hips lifted, we're going to reach the arms up above the head and back towards the ceiling. So only the arms are moving now. The hips stay completely still. And we try to integrate the breath here. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. Breathing through your nose. Last 5 seconds. And lower your arms all the way alongside your body. And we're gonna open the knees and bringing them back to parallel. So open, back to parallel. Just a small movement here while we keep the hips really lifted. So don't let your hips drop. Keep hugging your ribs in and keep a steady breath while the glutes are really working here. Last 10 seconds of these. And now we walk our feet together, so bring them to touch, reaching the arms back above the head. And then we're going to lift the left knee up, bring your hands to your knee, and we tap. So reaching knee and hands together and extend, tapping the toes down, extending the arms behind your head. For our one-legged glute bridge here, finding a steady rhythm. Inhale to reach up and exhale to lower. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping everything lifted, we're going to bring the hips towards the mat and lift them back up. So lowering and lifting, keeping the arms reaching up towards the ceiling, keeping the left knee lifted. feeling the right glute working here. Keep pressing into your right heel. Last 5 seconds here, stay with it. And bring the left foot down. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So bring your right knee in and then reach your arms up. And we tap the toes down, reaching the arms behind us. Moving with your breath here. Inhale, lift it up. And exhale, we tap. Remember, we want to keep very controlled, stable movements here. So always trying to move slow and steady. 10 more seconds. Keep pressing into your left heel. Feel your left glutes. And then we keep everything lifted and we just lower and lift the hips. So only the hips are moving now. The arms are reaching up towards the ceiling. Right knee is drawing in. Left glutes are working. Last 10 seconds. And we bring the right foot down, keep your hips lifted and bring your feet as wide as the mat. We're gonna reach the arms behind us, lower the hips and lift everything back up. So now we're in a wide-legged glute bridge and we're reaching the arms back while we lower and then lifting everything up. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Try to squeeze your glutes at the top. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it lifted and we pulse the hips up while we reach the arms back behind us. So now small pulses just with the hips, thinking of bringing your hip bones higher and higher while we press into the heels, feeling your glutes, and keep breathing. Last 10 seconds here. Try to really feel the burn of your glutes. And reaching the arms all the way back alongside the body. Walk your feet further away from you. So we come into a long stance with the feet parallel but further away. And we lower and lift. So still in our glute bridge. And inhale, we lower. Exhale, we lift. And walking our feet back to our normal glute bridge, touch your heels with your fingertips and start to make circles with your hips. So moving your hip bones in a circle here. Imagine you are a belly dancer, moving your hips and trying to make it a really controlled, fluid movement. And we switch direction, so moving the opposite way. Keep breathing deep and steady while you move your hips. And we keep the hips lifted, reach the arms back behind you again, and we lower and lift. So we'll do a few more of these, lowering and lifting your hips. Inhale, we lower, and exhale, we lift. Trying to squeeze your glutes at the top, really lifting them up. Last 5 seconds. And we keep the hips lifted for our little pulses. So pulsing it here, higher and higher. And we're almost done. Keep your hips lifted and only reach your arms now in a circular movement. So making these big arm circles while we keep the hips steady and lifted. Don't let them drop, only the arms are moving. We're really almost done, so stay with it. Feel your glutes, feel how they're getting stronger and sculpted. Last 10 seconds. And we're at the finale, so reach your arms above the head, keep them there, keep your hips lifted. We're just gonna hold. So just holding it here for the last 20 seconds and then we're done. So this is the very last thing we're doing, so stay with me. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your hips down, hug your knees into your chest. Well done. And we're gonna stretch it out. So come all the way onto all fours to make our way into a pigeon pose. So we're gonna bring the right shin forward, extending the left leg long behind us, and then fold yourself over your right shin to stretch into that outer right hip, your glutes. Just taking a few breaths here, surrendering down into the mat. And slowly lifting yourself back up, switching sides, so bringing the left knee forward, left shin down, extend the right leg behind you, and then melting your upper body over your left shin, coming all the way down and melting the body into this pose. Let's slowly make our way back up. You can just roll onto your left hip and then windshield vibing your knees from side to side, relaxing your legs. So well done today. Thank you so much for practicing with me, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.